18. I am 18 years old, and for 11 of those years I've lived in Florida. In my experience there, I've met some of the best people in my life, people that I would come to know as my friends. I've had so many great experiences living in Florida. That being said, it did not mean I wanted to stay. You see, in every young person's life, there comes a sense of rebellion and lust for independence, a sheer will to break out of the norm and find a new adventure in life, a new place where you can grow socially, creatively, and independently. And well, I think I found just that. But in order to tell the story properly, we have to start from the beginning. I'll keep you safe in this world tonight. I'll tend to A few months ago, I got a letter from a college in Wisconsin called MyAd. Me not knowing what it was, I just kind of pushed it off to the side and didn't think about it much. Cut forward a few weeks and the college pressure was really building up, so I decided to submit my portfolio to MyAd, given that the application was free. I clicked submit and nothing. I waited and waited for weeks, not knowing if I had even the slightest chance of getting recognized. A few more days passed by and my high school hosted its annual college portfolio review day, which is basically when a bunch of colleges from all around the world come together and review your portfolio, given your art and all that stuff. So you can imagine I was pretty anxious. Nonetheless, the day came, I set up all my stuff, and the first college I signed up for was MyAd. I did my review with one of the representatives, and it went way better than I thought, which was super nice. Cut forward another month, and I got a letter in the mail that said not only that I got in, but that I was being offered scholarships to go. So in my head, I was like... So once I saw that, my mind was set. I was going to study graphic design in Wisconsin. That feeling was so freeing, knowing that I meant something, I was worth something, I was gonna get to be independent. But with that feeling came reality. This past summer has been great to say the least and tough to say the most. The beginning was fine, but the closer and closer we got to August, the more reality kind of set in, and that reality was I was moving away from home. I'd be away from all my friends, and everyone I've ever known and cared about would be miles and miles away. Obviously I knew they wouldn't be gone, and I know they'd still be my friends, but there was always that creeping feeling in the back of my head that things wouldn't be the same. That was pretty hard to deal with. As I started packing up my things, my room became bigger and bigger from all the stuff I had taken out of it. It was really weird thinking that this place I've called home for so long was something that I was gonna willingly want to visit. Every night I would lay awake reminiscing on all the great times I had that summer and how many more great times I could have if I just stayed. But what really eased my mind was knowing that I was gonna get to start fresh and reinvent myself. I'd get to become the person I want to be and learn from new experience as a young independent adult. And with that thought in mind, it was time. 17th was a very emotional day for me. Saying goodbye to everyone was something that wasn't easy to do. It was heart-wrenching seeing everyone together for one last time, knowing that we'd all split off into our different paths in life. But there was this nostalgic, melancholic feeling I had that stuck with me through all of it. And by far, the toughest part was having to say bye to my best friend. We've been through a lot together. So many good times and so many dark patches in between. We were always there for each other since day one. This was gonna be our first time split apart for so long. So that night was very rough, to say the least. On the morning of August 18th, me and my family got on a plane and set off to the magical state of Illinois. Yeah, we didn't quite make it to Wisconsin yet, but we did gather all of our luggage and drove off to Milwaukee. And the things I saw on the way there... Look, why don't I just show you? Wisconsin was beautiful. It was so much more than I expected. The environment was so rich and open. There was new things to see and explore and new people to meet and new experiences to experience. It was amazing. And after about an hour of driving, we had made it to Milwaukee. We stayed a few nights in the downtown area in an Airbnb that was pretty nice. And we just kind of got to experience what Milwaukee had to offer. After those few days of fun came the day of reckoning, move-in day. Luckily, I was the first one to arrive at the dorms, and I completely undermined how big they were gonna be. As soon as I walked in, I realized how much space there was, which was like a huge weight off my back. I was expecting like a closet space with a bed, but instead we got 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, a living room, 2 bathrooms, and an awesome view of buildings. Okay, scratch that part, but the rest is really cool. It felt like this could be a great time depending on how the roommates are. Listen, I've heard some horror stories about awful roommates in the past, so you can say I was a little anxious to meet them. One by one, they started to come in and unpack their stuff, and I tried to introduce myself as best I could. I was pretty awkward. And sure, that awkward tension stayed for a little bit, but after a while, it felt like we had been friends for years. So, with that being said, these are the roommates. Ryder is a lovable giant with an amazing taste in music. Day 1, he pulled out this record collection that he has, and amongst it were some of my favorite albums of all time, so I knew from the start that it was going to be great.
We're gathered here today to remember the life of Groot. He was here for a good 2 weeks. Okay, well now he's dead. He's dead.
Derek is an amazingly talented and funny guy who has a knack for music and kills it on the guitar. Cameron is a caring, funny, laid-back, chill guy who loves D&D and riding skateboards. After hanging around these guys, I realized how much our humor and lifestyles were alike, and how much love and respect we had for one another. It was a very comforting feeling having them around, and it was even better knowing that I lived with them. We usually all get together and form this big group of friends that support and love each other, and we usually go around on crazy, stupid adventures around town. It's great. Once I was settled in, it was the moment that I was least anticipating. Saying goodbye to my family, my mom, that was hard. I know I didn't let it affect me at the moment because I thought I had to move on really quickly, but for once I didn't. Saying goodbye to the people that have helped you get to the point where you are in your life right now is hard in and of itself, but saying goodbye to the one person that has stuck by you for your entire life, that's a different story. My mom has helped me through a lot. I complained a lot. I said a lot of things in the past that I still regret, but she stuck with me through it all. She's the one person in my life that I can trust. She was there from my first steps to my first day of school, and from my first laugh to my first breakdown. We've been through a lot together, and I don't think I'll ever be able to thank her enough for everything she's done for me. All those thoughts kind of ran through my head as I hugged her one last time and she left. I haven't really talked about that since that day. It feels weird saying it out loud. So thank you. Thank you for everything. This whole college experience has been a weird one. There have been many highs and many lows. I didn't want to have any expectations going in because I had a big fear that I was going to be disappointed. I'm so unbelievably glad to say that not only were my expectations met, but they were exceeded. For such a long time, I felt like I was living in my own shadow, wondering what my purpose was, wondering if I even mattered or if it was going to be okay. Living in that fear ate away at me for years, but being here kind of eased that feeling a lot. I'm not saying that it's not a lot of work and that it's not stressful, but since I've been here, I felt less stressed and less anxious. I felt like I have a greater purpose, and for once I think I'm genuinely happy. I'm happy, and it feels so good to say that. So, with that being said, my name is Manny Sanchez. I am 18 years old. I am going to college in Wisconsin, pursuing my dream of becoming a graphic designer, and I am happy, and I hope you are too. Thank you.